Hi everyone. There are some major updates to U.S. immigration that have taken place over the last week. There's an update regarding the USCIS budget crisis, and there's an update regarding a lawsuit that was filed against the Trump administration to stop enforcement of the executive orders that were signed back in April and June, which are restricting the ability to immigrate to the United States. In this video, I'm going to share with you the important details that you need to know about. So make sure to stick around. Hi everyone. So as I mentioned, there are some major updates to U.S. immigration law regarding the USCIS budget crisis, as well as a lawsuit that was filed against the Trump administration to stop enforcement of those executive orders that were signed back in April and June that are stopping a lot of immigration from taking place. Now again, in this video, I'm going to give you an important update on the details that you need to know about, but first I'd like to give you a quick introduction about me. My name is Michael Ashoori, and I'm a U.S. immigration lawyer based in Los Angeles, California. At my law firm, we focus exclusively on immigration law. We represent clients from all over the world, and we regularly post videos to keep you up to date with what's happening in immigration. So if you haven't yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button now. So let's get started. There's some information that you're going to consider good news, and there's going to be some other information that's not such great news. We'll start with the good news. As I mentioned, a lawsuit was filed to stop enforcement of those executive orders that were signed back in April and June. The April executive order that was signed by President Trump temporarily suspends the issuance of immigrant visas, with some exceptions. The executive order that was signed in June temporarily suspends the issuance of certain non-immigrant visas, including the J-1 visa, the H-1B visa, and the L-1 visa. Now, when those executive orders were signed, the American Immigration Lawyers Association, AILA, as well as various other parties, filed a lawsuit to stop enforcement of those executive orders. Now, as part of that lawsuit, AILA is seeking a preliminary injunction and a temporary restraining order to stop enforcement of those executive orders. Now, there's a hearing scheduled to take place on August 27th to hear that motion. So this hearing that's going to take place on August 27th is a really big deal, and I'll tell you why. Basically, if the court finds in favor of the plaintiffs and grants the preliminary injunction and the temporary restraining order, this means that thousands and thousands of immigrants can have access to immigration benefits that they haven't been able to proceed with over the last many months due to these executive orders. In addition, if this motion is approved, it's a very strong indication of how the court will rule on the merits of the case as a whole. So again, we're going to know a lot of very important information on August 27th once this motion takes place. Now, we're going to very closely monitor everything that happens during these court proceedings so that we can update you guys on all the important details. So again, if you haven't yet done so, make sure to subscribe to our channel to be in the loop with all the videos that we're posting. Now, the next very important update that I want to give you is regarding the USCIS budget emergency. Now, as I mentioned earlier, this news isn't so promising, so I want to give you some details. As many of you know, USCIS is facing a budget emergency due to the coronavirus pandemic. Applications and filings have gone down, and USCIS collects its revenue from the applications that are filed. So again, right now, USCIS is facing a budget emergency, and they've requested a $1.2 billion bailout from Congress. Now, for weeks and weeks, we had a lot of hope that this emergency funding would be approved in the next wave of coronavirus stimulus that would be agreed to by Congress. But after 2 weeks of negotiations, as many of you know, a deal was not reached with Congress. And so the USCIS funding has not been approved. The issue is that if USCIS does not get this emergency funding, they will be forced to furlough 3/4 of their entire workforce, 13,400 employees, by August 30th. Now, this is going to pose major consequences for US immigration. USCIS is already very behind on processing applications and approving cases and printing green cards, and many of their functions they're already delayed on with their full staff. If USCIS is forced to furlough 13,400 workers, this could mean even more delays to case processing, along with various other consequences. So hopefully, USCIS will find a way to get the necessary funding so that they will not have to furlough their workers. And again, for those of you that don't know, a furlough is a temporary leave of absence. So just to recap, we have two very important pieces of news that we shared with you in this video. One is that there was a lawsuit filed against the Trump administration to stop enforcement of those two executive orders that were filed back in April and June. And as part of that lawsuit, there's going to be a hearing on August 27th. That hearing is going to be very important to the future enforcement of those executive orders. So we're going to closely monitor those to see any updates that take place. The second important piece of news that we discussed in this video is regarding the USCIS budget crisis. Unfortunately, Congress was unable to come to an agreement to approve funding, emergency funding to USCIS. And as a result, it's very likely that USCIS is going to have to furlough a large portion of their staff. We're also going to closely monitor this for any updates. I hope you guys found this video very helpful. If you did, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. When you hit that thumbs up button, it really helps us out, and it helps to let YouTube know to share our video with a larger audience. As always, if you haven't yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you have any questions whatsoever, put them in the comments below. And if you know anybody that could benefit from this information, feel free to share this video with them. At our law firm, what we want to do is we want to empower you with knowledge. So the more people that see this video that can benefit, the better. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this video, and I'll see you on the next one.